And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Today I'm talking about a game called Swat by Reiner Knizia. It's a new Griffins game, fits in a tin, although actually it barely fits in a tin. It's a really nice box, but the cards, you really have to jam them to get them in there. But still, it's nice, it has some pretty neat artwork. It's about smashing bugs, and I think we can all agree that smashing bugs is pretty much the only use a bug has, is to kill it, right? Wow, we'll see. Let's take a look at the game. This is a pretty simple game. In the middle of the table, you put this Swat board. And then you'll take a deck of Swat cards, and one person is chosen to be dealer. Now that person is going to start dealing these cards onto the board slowly, like this. And as soon as another player sees a card, if they want one of these cards, they will swat the board. Now the dealer can talk things up. He can say, oh, look at that card. Come on now. Why is no one swatting here? Come on, someone swat the board. Swat the thing. And so the first person to swat the Swat board gets all these cards. So they take these cards. And then the next person is the new dealer. And they start putting cards out one at a time. And you can swat the board anytime you want. So if you do that, I might only get 2 cards, but those might be the 2 cards I want. The deal is, once you have 3 piles in front of you, then you can't take any more cards. So you're only going to get 3 piles, and so you have to determine when's the best time to take those piles. You might not even get 3 piles. Once the whole deck has gone through, or if everyone has 3 piles, at that point everyone is going to turn over their cards and see how many points they've gotten. Alright, let's take a look at the different cards in the deck. As you can see, most of the cards show the most beautimous insects you'll ever see. Cards like this that have a point total on the top are simply worth the points there. And they go through 1 through 4. Of course, there's cards that, like a mosquito here, evil mosquito, and those cards are worth negative points. And there's some of those involved in the game too. Other cards show a dual splash up there at the top. That means you need a pair of these cards to get points. So by itself, that card's worth nothing. If I have 2 of them, then I have 2 points. And there's cards like that also. Again, if I only have 1, it's not worth anything at all. However, if I have a wild card, I can match that with any of these pairs, and it will match it, which is great. Pairs can go all the way up to 6 points. There's also negative pairs, so that's not too bad by itself, but if I get both of them, I will lose 2 points. In fact, you have to be careful, because let's say I have this -4, and I draw this wild, and I don't have any good card to match it with, then I'm forced to match it with the -4, which is really not a good thing. There's these bug zapper cards, and you get points for however many of those you have. If you have 1 of them that's worth 0 points, well, if you go all the way up to 7 of them or more, you'll get 40 points. And then there's these splat cards. Whoever has the most of them gets 7 extra points, and whoever has the least loses 7 points. If you have none, you're not in the running at all. You're safe. So if you take 1 of these, you better take more because you want the most of them. You add up all the points at the end of a round. You play 3 rounds. Whoever has the most points after 3 rounds is the winner of Swat. Swat is a really fun game to play. The artwork is very humorous and fun, and it's a game that handles up to 7 people, and there's some decent strategy behind it. There's some maybe memorization of what cards have been played already. I don't see that as being as much of a deal. Just simply trying to get out there when the cards you think are the best for you. There's, the chance that your hand is going to get slapped by someone else, hitting the board. I guess you could timidly just touch part of it. I say you go in with all your might and see what happens. I like the game. The only problem that the game has is it seems that many people that I've played with take a while to score the game. It's not that difficult. You add up the singles, the doubles match, and so on. But some people still kind of, there's a little bit of confusion maybe how to score. But I thought it was very simple. It's a game that appeals to both kids and adults, and I think they can play it with equal skill. So it works well for families. Funny artwork, a funny theme, a good simple game, and that would be Swat.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, This is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.